I'll call this meeting to order. The time is 10:17 on this Monday, February 14th, 2022. Filling in for the judge until we get her online. I'll call for the invocation. If you all will please rise. Commissioner Chesney, could you?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Are we waiting on the county attorney or no?
Good morning, everybody.
Do we have to wait on the county attorney? Just checking.
I think we could start. I mean,
That's fine with me. No.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Let us pray. Dear Lord, we are so grateful for you and your son, and we are so appreciative of all the things that you have given us. Lord, today we ask you, as we always ask you, to help watch over all of those in Nueces County. We ask you to help watch over those who are sick with COVID and other ailments, and to please heal them and comfort their families. And we ask you to please watch over this court, the staff, and all of those who work so hard to serve the constituents of Nueces County, and to help us continue to do the right things by them. In your son Jesus' name we ask these things and pray. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the United States and Texas flags. Pledge of
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Right. Can anybody check? We see that we have, the entire court is present. The roll call. I did call the time, start of the meeting earlier, and the date, location. We are meeting in the Nueces County Courthouse, Commissioner's Courtroom, and certify the quorum is present with all 5 members of the court. Judge Canales is coming in remotely, and this time we'll move over to public comment. Do we know the status of our county attorney, or? Okay. Didn't want to move too much forward. Thank you. Okay. None? Okay. Our county manager providing the list of the sign-in. I do not see anyone has signed up. Do we have anyone here in the audience that would like to make a public comment? Anyone online, Connie? No, it does not look like we have any public comment, any from the court. Okay. Next, we'll move to item E, which is the adopt resolution of one and only item we have under that, which is urging access to funding under the Bipartisan Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act of 2021. And we have a copy that was sent to us this morning by Tara. In case you do not have a copy, it was emailed earlier this morning. Do we have Belinda? Good morning. I guess, are you going to present? Okay. Sure, go right ahead. Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, County Judge. So I just was taking advantage that y'all were meeting today. As y'all know, at the end of last year, the Bipartisan Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act of 2021 was signed and went into effect. Unfortunately, Congress at this time has not adopted a full year's appropriations bill. And so we've been operating off of a continuing resolution. And what that means is that the funding level for transportation projects, highway projects, those things are at previous year's level. So we don't have the full access to the amount that was contemplated under the Bipartisan Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. So at this time, what we have before you is a resolution basically asking them to adopt a full year's budget for the Infrastructure Investment Act. And I'll go ahead and read it. Whereas Congress passed the Bipartisan Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act of 2021 to address new infrastructure for surface transportation, roads, bridges, rail, public transit, and airports, broadband, resiliency, water infrastructure, and modernization. And whereas this infrastructure investment is essential to all the communities in the United States and would facilitate economic growth, providing for the creation of new jobs. And whereas Congress passed a stopgap funding bill that will expire on February 18th, 2022, Whereas the House of Representatives recently passed a continuing resolution extending funding through March 11th, 2022, and is now being considered by the Senate. Whereas without a federal spending law in place, local governments may risk losing access to transportation resources provided under the bipartisan infrastructure law in fiscal year 2022. Now therefore be it resolved by the Commissioners Court of Nueces County that the Commissioners Court urges the passage of a full year fiscal year 2022 appropriations bill that will enable counties access to transportation funding provided under the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, and in the alternative, Congress is urged to include an anomaly to provide for the full obligation limitation levels in any future continuing resolution to fully honor the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act funding levels for all transportation-related projects. And that's for your consideration.
Thank you. Right, and I know we have the judge remotely, and I know that the reason why she's not here physically is because I believe that she is in Washington, D.C., working on this issue, related issues to the federal funding available to our communities. Judge, mic is yours.
Thank you so much. As a matter of fact, I literally just left the main ballroom where Secretary Buttigieg spoke. And one of the exciting things is, and also Senator Cornyn was also a major speaker as well, emphasizing the very same things this resolution proposes. But it's exciting to know that obviously bridges are going to be a huge component. Of course, we already have our bridge slated, but when we really think about the I-69 corridor, when we think about other infrastructure needs for our community, this is the pool of dollars that we need to be looking towards. And here's the best part. They're launching new programs literally every week. The old Tiger grants that many of us remember are now being called RAISE, the RAISE grants. And of course, everybody knows that lives in Corpus Christi that our deepening and widening project is still lacks federal funding. So for so many reasons, infrastructure is the, I guess, operative word. And there's a lot of discretionary money. And they basically said, hey, if your county isn't getting what it needs, come to us directly. And so I just want to urge everybody to support this resolution and understand that our communities are stronger when their infrastructure is strong. So
Move passage.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second, a motion by Commissioner Chesney, a second by Commissioner Gonzalez. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Same sign. All right, thank you. Now we move to regular agenda item 2A, 2A1, which is discuss and consider amended cooperative agreement for city-operated Corpus Christi, Nueces County Public Health District. Vote to adopt amended agreement. And County Attorney is here. Ms.
Commissioners,
Dorsey?
I have a final draft. We've been meeting this morning, going over final edits and capitalization changes here and there. I have one issue that I need the court to look at, and those papers are being printed out and brought to us momentarily.
Sounds good. So I guess this is a good time to read the executive session language, right? Do we need to
And-
move to that?
Unless there is a specific legal question, I don't have any matters for executive.
You don't. Does anyone in the court wish to go into executive session to discuss this item, or are we ready to discuss publicly?
I would
I
just,
think we're ready.
Yeah,
I think we're ready
I
to
have
discuss.
I'm sorry, Judge?
yes, we have legal issues
legal.
and concerns, and
Okay.
I'm just trying to make certain I understand. You're saying that we're about to get new edits right now?
Yes, we've been working with the city this morning to work on suggestions as the court requested. There was a meeting with county health employees, and there was one change to paragraph B that previously said removed that provided for, after that meeting, with input from, the health employees that the court invited over.
but they're not substantive deal-changing edits, they're just,
No, and I would like to describe them to you.
right. I would, just for discussion purposes, make a motion to,
Yeah, let me read the language. I think we probably need to go into executive session just to discuss if we have any
I have no
specific
desire to
questions.
go into executive
I know the judge
session,
has
but
already said that she has.
whatever.
We'll go into that
I'd like to make a
hopefully very
motion, we won't go.
briefly. I do want to recognize in the audience, we have our Assistant City Manager, Steve Vedia, and our City Attorney here, Miles Risley, as well. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here. I'm sure that you all have been discussing with Ms. Dorsey this morning. So I'm going to read some executive session language, and we will ask the courtroom to be cleared in, right after that. So public notice is given that Commissioners Court may elect to.
John, we just make sure that they got our motion to pass this on the record, and there was a second. I just want to make sure that that was.
On this
at
item?
least- Yes, sir.
I did not hear that, so.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to.
I didn't hear to recognize it.
Yeah, just checking.
If you want to, we can put a motion, but the discussion will be executive session.
I have no discussion for executive session or no legal questions, but if the judge does, then
Yeah,
Yes,
I-
I do.
let-
And also, excuse me, I'd also like to note for the record that you're saying that we don't have the final document,
yes, we do,
but
Judge.
somehow we
Yeah.
want to,
Yes, we do
violate
have
the
the final
rule that-
document.
Yeah, we got the
Yeah,
final
yes, we do
document.
have the final document.
right, but we did not get it till this morning. And so therefore, all of the issues that came up on Friday, we don't have a document that reflects that. And so what I'm trying to point out is the irony here that your own self-imposed rule of you should have documents in front of you before you vote on them. There is no backup documentation that would satisfy.
Judge, we've had three different
at this-
versions, and
this
all that the
point.
county attorney has is some very technical typo-type changes. We've had this document forever and ever, amen, so there's nothing substantive of any change in here today that we have not seen and did not see before. The document she's giving you today has some, like, technical typo stuff that doesn't change the deal at all. That's what's been
So
reflected by the
let's-
county
Let's go into
attorney.
the
So-
executive session so we can determine if there are any legal questions that impact the final vote or any final motion. Because I want to at least give us that opportunity.
Sure, I was
And
just
know that
clearing
the
up
judge
what
were
she
here,
said.
that we would wait we would go straight into that. So let's take some time, hopefully short amount of time, to be able to go and clarify on these items.
Could you just reflect those so that I'm not misstating this? Judge can ask whatever she wants in legal, but this is all for public discussion, in my opinion, and I'm just, did I say that wrong, Jenny, and like?
No, I believe that's accurate, and we've been going over them this morning with the city to make sure that they're not substantive changes. We have added the things that is changed is paragraph B on grants requiring county employees. That is the paragraph that is replacing the transitional county employee paragraph from before, that it was a concern of some of the grant employees that if they're not able to transfer exactly on March 1st, that they're not just left out, neither a county nor a city employee. That excludes the departments 3091 and 1377, as those are not the departments intended to be covered by that paragraph. The other change, the other things are ministerial.
And, well, can you read the ministerials, since those are, so that those are not legal, as nothing, I mean, like I said, I think we can discuss all this in public as far as I'm concerned, but I
We-
mean, ministerial.
We went
just
through,
so-
and anytime there is a reference to effective date, I capitalized E in effective and D in date. Also, where anytime the word agreement is used and it's referring to the document, I've capitalized that. Anytime services are used to, as a term of art, we've capitalized that. We've also changed, given a definition to the services, in section 12A, that makes services a defined term within the document, not just the general meaning of the word.
So again, all administrative, all typo, not typo, all administerial, all not substantive changes from the document that we've had for a lengthy period of time.
So we know
Yeah.
what's been presented, what's going to be discussed. So now, let's allow ourselves to go into executive session. The public, I think, now has that information in case that they were not able to get access to this latest attachment. as I mentioned, we'll go through this, we'll move through it, and then we'll come back for motions and vote on that. So, as I was reading earlier, public notice is given that Commissioners Court may elect to go into executive session anytime during the meeting to discuss matters listed anywhere on the agenda when authorized by the provisions of the Open Meetings Act, Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code. And we will be going into executive session momentarily. And I announce that as a presiding officer, in accordance with the authority of the Government Code, Vernon's Texas Code, Section 551.071, .072, .073, .074, .0745, .076, .086, and .087, that we are now going into executive session to consult with attorneys, including matters related to litigation, deliberate regarding real property, prospective gifts, personnel matters, including termination, county advisory bodies, security devices, and/or economic development negotiations, and other matters that may be discussed in the executive session. Upon completion of executive session, the Commissioners Court may be in open session, take such action as appropriate on this item discussed in executive session. And the time is 10:34 a.m. Everyone is here that we need, county attorney, county clerk staff. All right. Bring this meeting back into session out of executive session. Time is 11:26 a.m. And we are, we are on regular agenda item 2A1. Discuss and consider amended cooperative agreement for city-operated Corpus Christi and Nueces County Public Health District, and vote to adopt amended agreements. Judge, would you like to start us?
I'm sorry.
Yes, there was a motion and a second before we went into executive session, so I'm assuming that this is the time for discussion.
Yes, so, yeah, we had a motion. Could you restate it, because I don't think I really recognized it, and if we could just make sure we put it in the record.
It was actually just what you said, which was a motion to consider the adoption of the amended cooperative agreement for the city-operated Corpus Christi Nueces County Public Health District. And that was seconded, I think, by Commissioner
Second by
Gonzalez.
Commissioner Gonzalez. All right, now for discussion.
Yes, we've had the opportunity to go into executive session and review some of the edits that were claimed to be minor, ministerial, administrative, and I don't find them to be at all. And in fact, it was very much the will a week ago to make certain that we would protect our county employees, to make certain that during this fiscal year, as we had already budgeted for all of their employment, to make certain that they stay part of the health district. And this language in this document that is motioned and seconded clearly does not protect them. It does not protect them because it allows for the city, without good cause, to terminate them. It allows the city to apply a reduction in force policy if they deem they want to. Does not protect them because it merely uses weak words like, we will attempt to place that employee elsewhere in the city, none of which is fitting for these heroes. None of that language is what was the desire of this court initially. It's certainly not my desire to not protect our county employees. This is a bad document. It's bad for our county health employees, our health district employees that have been on the front lines. It certainly over time was strengthened by rallying cries from this court to make certain that they would be protected for premium pay and retention, to make sure that grant employees would retain their positions through that grant period. There's so many provisions that we were able to tweak, but without protecting the fundamental basics of the employment, it's all meaningless. Who cares about ARPA being protected or retention being protected if you're not working there? Who cares of whether or not you're going to be a grant employee if they can terminate you? This is not in the spirit or in keeping with what I believe the city council's intentions were. They were certainly not what this court has articulated over time their intentions were. And therefore, this document does not represent the best of us. In fact, it represents the worst of us. Because after 2 years of a global pandemic, the people that you should, with sword and shield, fight for the most are the people that fought for you, that didn't get vacation because they were on the front line. And while I agree that there are some financial, I would say, mechanisms to protect them fully, sick leave and vacation leave most prominently, I hope this court will adopt those, but it should have been adopted inside this document. And so for all of these reasons, and really, quite frankly, the document itself is not in keeping with the document that really purported to, what was it again they said at the city? To bolster public health, to make certain that we could really protect our community. This doesn't do any of that. In fact, it barely mentions anything about what they intended to do in bolstering community health. For our part, we've done some things that I think, will help us through this terrible transition, like making certain there will be a clinic that we're going to pay for. Let's be very clear to the community. It's the county's dollars and the county's measures that will provide additional help for our communities, our smaller communities inside our county through mobile clinics and a potential Calderon clinic. But it means really, it's meaningless without the people that run public health. And so I just want to urge all of you to please go back to the drawing board and make certain you can provide the protections for our county health employees at minimum through the fiscal year, at minimum. Why would you ever want to contract as a county your employees to be terminated by your city? Now, I will say that some of the language that was brought up was there for the purposes of complying with our Civil Service Commission document. That, as I understand it, requires notice be given when there is a dissolution. But let me argue legally that there is no dissolution. The health district, and we are agreeing today in this document, both parties, that the health district stays the same. So there's no dissolution. So that paragraph, I find that to be, to leave us vulnerable to liability and to lawsuits. And again, I urge everybody in the county to reject this horrible document that purports to attempt to place people who fought for us so vigorously. It does not protect them. It allows for capricious and arbitrary, bureaucrats to get rid of them. And I will join them in saying that this could not be the best that we could do. I will vote no. I will vote no every day until we get this document put back in shape where it protects our health district employees. By the way, the taxpayers counted on us to approve budgets that were real budgets, not fake ones. And when we approved in late September our budget, we told the citizens and residents of Nueces County that we were going to have these positions as part of health district. And they pay taxes for that to the hospital district. And now what you're saying is capriciously that the city gets to decide. If you're in Banquete or Bishop or Petronila or Agua Dulce Valiente, I guess they're going to call Manager Zanoni to complain because you are trading away their health and you're trading away governance with the yes vote here today. Thank you, Commissioner Modis, for the opportunity to speak via this virtual forum.
Thank you, Judge, and for your work you're doing in Washington for the court and the county. This is our opportunity right now to speak one way or the other, and so can go in any order, but I know Commissioner Chesney would like to share his thoughts, so we'll go with you and then just work our way down the line and go from there.
Thank you, Commissioner Mottos. Definitely a different of opinion on this document. When we started this process, we had several goals in mind. One was to make sure that our employees were as taken care of as much as we possibly could, to not duplicate services or waste tax dollars, to maintain the health district in its form because of the importance of maintaining the health district, to expand services. And thanks to Commissioner Gonzalez's idea in working with Commissioner Mottos in Robstown, the Calderon Clinic has now become a reality. And thanks to Commissioner Gonzalez's idea, we've asked for that in regards to the bus, and it prompted me to consider putting Port Aransas on that list. So thanks to the proactive and the ability of some to really work to make this work and not just continue to put obstacles up, we are at a point now where we will not be providing interrupted service to those we serve. In fact, not only will we not be providing interrupted service, there will be no interrupted services, we're expanding those services. And yes, we're paying extra for those because we think that's important. And I have no shame in paying extra for those, because without the suggestions made by members of this court trying to put forth a positive plan, we wouldn't possibly be doing that. And the city has readily agreed on a lot of these things. There's things that they didn't like that they worked with us on, that we compromised on. That's what you're supposed to do when you're negotiating. You don't always get it the exact way you want it. Mr. Vieira and Mr. Risley are here today. Mr. Vieira has clearly said what Mr. Zanoni told me a long time ago, way back when, was that they have every intent of hiring the vast majority of those frontline workers that are heroes that the judge speaks of. And Mr. Vieira said would happily go on and state that today if that's what is needed. But I don't start out with a partnership and throwing stones. I start out having some faith and some belief in the partners in which we entrust public health to, and I have faith and belief that the city will not, and I don't know how else to say it, screw us on this thing, because if they do, then they know that we can always regroup, and we can get out of this agreement at any time we want to. This is not a perfect document. There never will be one, according to some, and we could be here for the rest of our lives debating this, that, and the other. But this does represent hours, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of collective hours between the city and the city staff and the council and the court and the county attorney's office to come up with something to move forward with in good faith. And that is where we are today. We can sit here and debate this for the rest of our lives, as probably some would like us to, but we're not trading any governance. That's an inaccurate statement. We have protected the employees. We have, if an employee doesn't get hired by the city, then we will work very hard to find them something at the county, as I'm sure some of the, maybe the exempt employees may fall into that. That would be something different. But the rank and file, the people that are on the front line, I believe the city. I believe the city when they tell me they are going to hire the vast majority, if not all, of the rank and file workers. And if that proves to be the case, doesn't prove to be the case, then I'm sure the judge will make me very aware of that. So if problems occur that come up by being a member, we still have a say. We still have input. This agreement simply states that instead of a dysfunctional organization run by two entities that were not functioning well together at the time because of all the different policies between the two, it made it impossible for the city to do one way and the county, and we had employees and they had employees. This should have been changed years ago. They should have all been public health department employees, even though in effect they are by agreement. In reality, they aren't by practice, because we have employees and they have employees. That should have been fixed a long time ago. It wasn't. This also provides better and expanded public health services, helps our county employees transition to the city or find another position for them in the county, and having uninterrupted expanded services. Again, if this does not work, we can always do it again. This is not the be-all final document that says we have to live with this for the rest of our lives. This moves this community forward instead of putting obstacles that say, let's don't do it, let's don't do it, let's don't do it. We found a way that we believe, or that I believe, I won't speak for the court, I'll let them speak themselves, that I believe that we can move forward in good faith with a partner that isn't perfect either. Believe me, there's plenty of warts on the county. There's plenty of warts on the city. There's plenty of warts at CCISD. There is no perfect entity. But I believe that those who have worked on this from the county perspective and the city perspective have done so in good faith. They have negotiated in good faith. We have sent back things and have gotten things changed in this agreement that the city council has had to say, okay, we can live with that, and the city staff has said, we can live with that. This has not been a one-sided negotiation. We have gotten plenty of things in there that I believe make this a fair agreement. And let's remember, the root of this is we are maintaining the health district, which when this all started, everybody said that was such an important goal on this court. It hasn't come out the way every member of this court wanted it to. And there are things in here that I don't love, but I've learned to live with. There are things that the city doesn't love, they've learned to live with. But does it, in my mind, meet the goals that I set for this when I started this process? Yes, it does. The employees will be very well taken care of. There will be no duplicate services or waste of taxpayer dollars. We will maintain the health district. We will expand health services, and there will be no uninterrupted service. That's what this agreement does. That's the reality of today. That's why I'm ready to move forward, and let's see how this goes. Thank you, Commissioner Monix.
Commissioner Gonzalez?
Well, I'd like to just touch a couple of things. I know that the health district employees, the frontline, the supporters that take care of us, are alongside of law enforcement that also support us and take care of us. So with them too, I mean, it's always our interest for law enforcement and health, and it's hard to say that we don't care. Since day one, we've fought to make sure that whatever we do is to the benefit of those employees in the health district. There's a lot of other people here in the health and the county that also ask the same questions about themselves. How can we do this? What is there for us, and how can you take care of us? I think that what we've worked here, in this months that Jenny has gone through, I think in the city, I think they've opened up a door that will provide not only health benefits, but extended health benefits that'll probably be better. I think it'll be a lot easier to manage. I think that the other thing when the judge says about, and I hear this all the time, that there's nothing, the rural areas, Banquete and Bishop, Driscoll, Agua Dulce, that what's going to happen to them? Well, we have been taking care of them with what we have, and for to tell the truth, we don't have anything over there to begin with right now. We're trying to have something out there. We're trying to expand the Robstown Clinic so we'll be closer to them. We're trying to expand, utilize a clinical, mobile clinic that we can do their outreach in those areas that we haven't had before, and also to Port Aransas. The health clinic in Robstown was functioning. About 20 years ago, they closed it down. Never to be open again. Why? That was a call that the health department made. So we asked, and Commissioner Morales and I have both asked, 2 years ago, 4 years ago, why is that clinic closed? Why can't we open that clinic? So, but it still hasn't been open. And I want to thank the city council, city manager, Mr. Vieira, for working with our county attorney every day, long hours. And also I know and I feel that your concern is also our concern about our employees. And I know you really from, because we've talked about this. So I want to always say that the city did their part by taking care of those employees. And I think that the employees will notice that the city actually opened the doors for them and took care of everything. As far as the county employees moving over, they got a real good package that we're gonna give them and pay through our county funds. And thanks to the city to allowing it to happen, while we provide the funds, you're gonna allow it to continue to happen. So, you know, and really I'm surprised that, when we started back then, we didn't have a plan. We kept talking about a plan, and Jeannie and I kept talking about a plan way back then, until I met with the city and I met with Jeannie and said, we have a plan. And that plan started, what, Jeannie, maybe 2 months after we started doing negotiations. And that plan was the Calderon Clinic. To this point, I know the commissioner has supported it. Commissioner Matis, thank you for coming in and working together on that clinic that you probably oversee pretty soon. But, you know, I want to just say that I even had the city manager say, hey, I'd like to go see the clinic. Whatever we can do, let us know. I'm sorry I haven't had the same thing here from the county judge, and never even mentioned about the clinic, or the RV, the mobile clinic. So, but those two were given birth as a result of having a plan. We wanted to bring a plan to the table, and that was the plan to bring to the table. And we started kicking that plan around. Now we're all talking about that plan. So it's in reality, it's gonna happen. So I'm looking forward to it. But I do, and I said from the bottom of my heart, I thank all the county employees and all the city employees that work in the health district for the work they have done, for continuing to work. And, I mean, they've always been our concern. So at this time, I just want to say, Commissioners, thank you for your support on the plan that we have, and we're going to continue working on that plan to make it a reality. Thank you.
We'll just go in order, and then Commissioner, we'll let you finish at the end.
Thank you, Commissioner. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you go ahead if you'd like, sure.
Thank you, Commissioner. I just want to say thank you to the city of Corpus Christi for working with us. I've been through this when I was employed with New Mexico County Courthouse. I was a buyer for Public Works, and they decided to do away with that department, so I got transferred over to the purchasing department. And I didn't know how it was going to work out for me, but thanks to the good Lord, everything worked out. Ms. Cora Gooding was a good director, a good boss. But all I have to say is I think the city has done what's best for our community, not just the city or the county. You know, we all live here. And when the judge says, what if they decide to do this? Well, if is it's an if. I don't think the city would do anything intentionally to hurt any of our people that live here in this community, to hurt their families. We're all doing this for the right reason. I used to work at the Calderon building when the clinic was functioning, and it was a good clinic. I don't know why they closed it down. It was closed when I retired, after I retired. But I'm glad to see that Commissioner Gonzalez and Commissioner Mares had the vision to put it back to good use, because it does belong to the taxpayers of Nueces County, and it helps the people in the rural areas. And I'm just going to cut this short. I'm just going to say I myself am vowing to do what's best for our community, for our rural areas. Now that I take over Agua Dulce, Banquete, Driscoll, I'm gonna vow to you that you will never lack help from the hospital district. And if you do, then we have the opportunity to go on our own and do the right thing for our people. So with this, thank you all very much. Thank you, commissioners, for doing the right thing. Thank you to the city of Corpus Christi. Thank you.
Thank you all. Just a few items. this has been a long process. We have spent, as Commissioner Chesney said, countless hours on our staff side, and this court has invested multiple hours each meeting to this very issue. It's been passionate on both sides. In the end, no matter what direction you're looking at on this issue, this court has always talked about what they feel is the best for its employees. And so there's some that feel that keeping as is or keeping the way that our plans have been over decades now is maybe the best way, or perhaps that this consolidation is a way to be more efficient. It's always been, that's one thing I've always heard, is discussion about the employees. So we've looked at that, we feel that, we see that. Like every big decision I've ever been a part of in other entities and then now in Commissioner's Court, we won't know the final impact until the dust is settled. I mean, that's just reality. As much as we want to say today that this is a great plan, and I hope that it is, because I know that there's the will of the majority of the court to move this today and to approve this today, and I'm not going to stand in the way of it. But there will be, once the dust is settled, there will be issues to work through. And so I hope that the document that our county attorney has worked on our behalf and this court has given direction provides us that opportunity to work through that, to work through the dust once it's settled, because there will be issues that come up that we didn't think of or didn't realize were going to happen. So I'm hoping that we have the best relation with our partners at the City of Corpus Christi to make that happen. And so I think that has happened between our county attorney, between their attorney and their staff, is to make sure that everything works out. Hopefully it does. Hopefully once the dust settles, there are no other issues. We know that there are positions that are going to involve those that are at higher management, that have to go through the same hiring scrutiny that anyone would being brought into a new organization. But my main concern are those that are filling the positions, clerks and assistants and other positions on our end that do valuable service for us. And this was created years ago, and it worked. And there's been hiccups, and obviously I think there's been a need recently that's really been expressed to say we must bring it together. I'm in favor of always trying to work to bring government together to be more efficient. That's one thing that has been my goal since day one. That's always been my mantra everywhere that I have served, is to be more efficient. So I hope that we are more efficient. I hope that this decision, if it passes today, which it seems that it will be the best in public service, that it will be the best in that we can be a great example and a model for other communities, and that we will learn best practices from other communities, because it's still going to be a process. It's still going to be very much a process to work through. But I hope that we put in enough protection for us to be able to allow for that, to be able to have our voice to be heard as a partner with the city, and to be able to get the public health needs met. So that's the priority to me, and also protecting our employees. And so I hope and I believe that as many employees can and have been protected through this process as possible. Not all of them, and that's unfortunate. But when you consolidate, when you close down departments, as Commissioner Hernandez said that he's experienced when being at the county, that it turns out for the best for our employees, and that's what we want. That's what I want. And so moving forward, that's what I'm looking forward to. When we talk about combining resources, I think of the Calderon building. That's all of our resources. That's all of our building. It just happens to be in my precinct. So when Commissioner Gonzalez came in with his plan and his idea, I'm never going to turn down and say no about bringing in resources and added additions to our community out there in Robstown in the western part of Nueces County. And so with this today, I hope this shows a spirit of goodwill, willingness, a passion, like I said, that many people will not be able to know or experience, but that I've seen on both sides of this issue. And it's always been about wanting to do the best, and I hope that this vote does that today. But I will be casting a vote in favor of it because I think that we have worked through this process to about the end, to about all that we can, aired out all of our concerns that we can. And so That's just my thoughts and how I wanted to share with you today, coming from my mind, my heart, my spirit of serving this community. So.
My vote yes.
So we will call for the vote. All those in favor, please cast your vote by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign.
No, I stand with the county employees.
As do we.
As do we.
No, no,
All right.
no, no, no. I'm with you guys.
We stand with the county
I know
employees.
you're listening. I know you're listening.
Go up, Judge.
We stand with the county judge.
Please don't
county
fall for
employees,
scare
Judge.
tactics. Please don't
Please.
fall for scare tactics as she
Please,
laughs.
all comments need to be held, please. It's not part of our business. It's not part of our business with this meeting. We've already spoken, we have all voted, and we're going to move on to continue on this agenda. There are no other items on this agenda, so we now go to adjournment in memory. Do we have any that we'd like to share?
I'll do mine the next meeting.
Okay, we held the next.
As a backup, Commissioners, I've provided an extension as a process for the document you just voted on. I'm asking you to also look at that extension as a part of the Reformation Agreement that you just signed.
There's a Fourth Amendment, as you mentioned, right?
Yes.
It's Amendment number 4.
And if the county commissioners sign off on this extension, it may or may not be used by the city.
That's good to know that there's options still that have to be exercised if timing doesn't work. And we know it's all about timing and the will of the court and the will of the council, so. All right. With no other,
Do we need to make that as a motion?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
We need
okay.
to-
Take
We
a
need to
motion.
move to accept that extension.
the attached extension, Fourth Amendment to the Reform Cooperative Agreement to operate a public health district to extend city withdrawal to February 23rd, 2022, to provide for negotiations.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Business is done of the court. Meeting is adjourned. Time is 11:57 a.m. Thank you.